Sup, Chaos1072 here for another Chaos Toy review. Today we'll be looking at the Omega Megazord. I know it's a little odd of a title for a Megazord called the Omega Megazord. It's almost as bad as what I was hoping the Super Mega Force Sword would not be called, being Super Mega something or rather. But thankfully we did not encounter that. So, first thing you're going to notice is I have these two pieces out. There's a reason for that, and that is thing on this one is almost completely broken. I had to pretty much break the hinges and shove it in a place in a way that it'll stay, but it's a little wiggly and it's not in 100% to, and the ratchets in both of the legs, while this one is not broken, the ratchet in this is strong and is stuck to a point where if I tried to move it, pretty sure I'd break it. And when I first got it, which was not too long ago, it was movable, but I looked at this while cleaning it and I saw a crack, and then I realized the ratchet is not loose. It's too strong, it's stuck, it's probably rusted. But I'm not gonna fault the seller because I bought it on eBay, and that was something I figured out and I made it worse, but I managed to fix it. So to me, the rover mode is not accessible, but I will show off kind of what it would look like. But it's not why I bought this set. So when I have them like this and I'm kind of playing around with them, they're cannons. So let's get into them. This is the last Megazord set from Lightspeed Rescue, and I want to say Go-Go 5. And I'm not sure if there's a difference between this and the Japanese, or if there's like a telltale difference. I don't think there is, but I'm not sure. And I am missing the spear weapon, which was something I knew going into this, and I'm like, I can live. So, well, let's take a look at these. And obviously this is supposed to be down a little bit more, but it's got little grabby hands. And surprisingly amount of die cast, like this whole foot, that's all die cast, because this is going to be a leg and not much else. And it's looks like it's slightly yellowing, but that's just kind of age, and yellow's pretty much the same except the wheels. Green, being the smallest, has little fold out wheels and a little sled. And by the way, all of these can fit in the Super Train Megazord trains, obviously one at a time, but they like one in each, but they can fit. Like this is obviously designed to kind of fit with green, and they're all spaceships, by the way, since this was a primarily space driven robot or Megazord. This is the smallest of the bunch, and is most of the die cast is right here in the back. This section right here is all die cast, and it feels very heavy. This whole Megazord as a whole feels heavy. And to prep it for transformation, just put that little sled in and that. And for these, obviously you would take this out because it's a little tucked in here. Fold this little panel out a bit, and for the rover little walker mode, you would have this at a 90 degrees. Same as this, fold these two in, fold this two in, grab this little piece just to kind of straighten, just to get it, which kind of creates a heel, which we'll show in a minute. And then blue, his little gimmick is, by the way, these are die cast, which is where the majority of the die cast is. Like this is probably the least die cast piece, and it's got little guns and missiles, and looks like, I don't know, it looks like a little rover for like quick little space traversal. And then we have red here, which most of the die cast is right here on the bottom, and I want to say there's a bit on the inside, but I could be wrong. And yeah, it's got little thrusters, got little wings. It's not very aerodynamic, but it's a kid show, and it's kind of showing its age with the chrome kind of being worn off. So to prep, so let's get into the walker mode. First, you're going to take this off, well, unpeg it, fold these up and bring them up here, fold this down, fold these up, and then plug them into these little clips, and then just kind of leave this hanging out a bit. Oh, and these all have little landing gears with wheels. They're all loaded up with wheels. Blues are in here. And I think that's in right there. I showed you greens and yellows. So then leave this like this, and then for not to damage anything, push on this piece until what is obviously going to be the head starts sticking out. And then take green, and you're gonna wanna line this peg up to this little hole. Now I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a more thorough click, but it stays in just fine. And then take this little piece and kind of hang it off the front. And then you're going to want to take blue, fold up these, split them in half, and this is going to expose little ports. Not exposed, they were always there, but, and then plug it into that hole, plug it into that hole. Now, it's going to look like this, and you split this, and because I don't have access to the knee joint as much as I wish I did, I'm going to have to imagine that it's like this, and it's going to look something like that, but I can't show that, and I'm sorry. But then plug in yellow. And this is one of the few older Zords that's showing its age. The little clips and stuff sometimes are a bit finicky, so one moment as I put it together. Okay, so just kind of imagine that it's got knees bent and it kind of looks something like this. So then to transform it from this, stand it up, pull out the die cast feet, and then fold out the little heel, and you have a leg. I'll do the same with pink / white, even though it's a white Zord. So then you got it standing up. And then just adjust this. I'm going to take these from here, fold them down, bring them down, and then pull up the little cuffs. Then fold this up. Then for the face, it's kind of flat, so just kind of pry at this to kind of widen out the face to expose the eyes. And there you go. The Omega Megazord. Now, like every other Sentai mech, it's just got the arm movements. Well, it technically has knees, mine doesn't. And it's missing the spear, which had a projectile. But there's a little look at the face. Just a general scan of the Zord. So, does he belong in your collection? If you are a fan of Lightspeed or Go-Go 5, I'd say yes. Just keep in mind that the issue I have might affect yours, it might not. And just fold down these guns. But, yeah. He didn't go for crazy, he's not crazy expensive, but since he's kind of older, just be wary. But, yeah, that's the Omega Megazord from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. And I believe the Japanese name is Victory Mars. So if you're looking for this, Japanese and American are the same. So if you're looking for one or the other, can't go wrong with either or. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye!